Alrighty, so this episode. Usually what I do is I try to go through, I review the episode as it plays, but this episode we bounce around a lot between a bunch of different characters, so I wanted to chop it up and address the characters as chunks, and I'm gonna go in an order that I think is a bit more fitting, from least interesting, from the least amount of things I want to say to the most interesting elements, for me at least. So let's dive in, bouncing around a little bit. Sorry if this is weird. It made sense in my head. So I figure the best place to start is going back to RWBY's team, which I've seen called Team Rainbow, now that Penny's not in that team anymore. I think that's adorable. No, I figure start with them because that's where we ended last time, and just, they're in the Schnee Manor now. I'm hoping this will lead to something interesting with the Schnees, or at least with Willow or something, but there's a lot going on in this volume already. I don't know if we could jam a little, Weiss Schnee-centered story arc in here and make it work. I'm not sure.
What do you expect me to do then?
Get out! Get out! Get out!
And now bouncing into the scene this episode started with. It's back to Robyn. Okay, I really hate this scene. I hate the fact that we're starting episodes with this scenario, because this is, in my opinion, this entire plot point is the least interesting thing going on right now. Literally, the idea that something might happen with the Schnees is more interesting to me than watching Robyn be a garbage person for forever. It's so, the scene is dumb. The scene is so dumb. The more I think about it, the more, dumb it feels. Because I'm still not over the fact that they put people right next to each other who were, who definitely want to, hurt and or kill each other. They put them right next to each other in these cell blocks. And the cell blocks are, how long have they been here? I saw a comment, and it was a stupid dumb comment, well, if Robyn has to go pee, does that mean everyone gets to watch? Shut up, idiot. But, then I'm sitting there watching the episode, yeah, what happens? There's no bathrooms in these, mini cells. Are they just here? How long have they been detained here? Has it been a couple of days? I think it's been at least a day. Or are they just sitting in these, why are they waiting so long in these, holding cells? Would you not put them in, is there not, a better level of security we could put these people in? Or are they right next to each other? It's so contrived and stupid and so poorly designed and dumb, and I hate it. Nothing good has come out of these scenes. The only good thing that has came out of the scene so far was Crow admitting that it was really dumb to team up with Tyrion.
Could have worked together against Tyrion if Clover just...
But it's too little too late, I get the feeling this is the writers trying to be oh yeah, we did really mess up having him team up with the actual serial killer who tried to kill him and his niece rather than his best friend. Maybe we should address it. And it's just well, it's too little too late, because that's really stupid. It's really stupid that it happened in the first place. Having Crow admit it is at least shows to me that you do have the wherewithal to realize that was a really dumb decision, writing-wise, but it doesn't fix it. And of course, everyone's favorite little bitch, Robyn. I saw a couple of comments being why do you hate her so much? And I'll be honest, a part of it is just irrational. I find her personally very obnoxious, very annoying. Whenever she talks, I hate her vocal performance. Christina V, and I like her. She's one of my favorite voice actresses. She voices one of my favorite characters from my favorite anime. She is a good voice actress, but Robyn sounds so forced. She doesn't know what performance she's trying to give. Am I trying to be cool? Am I trying to be sexy? Am I trying to be funny? Am I trying to be charming? And all it does is it sounds like she's failing at all of those things. And Robyn just has this bad habit of, sticking herself into other people's business and then acting all high and mighty. She very regularly talks down to people. And she also very regularly, which we even see in this scene, she tries to put herself into the shoes of other people's problems. We saw in last volume where Marrow's yeah, I've been discriminated against, and she's you're not the only one who's suffered. It's well, yeah, but you would have no idea what he's gone through, just from, a race perspective. And then here, Crow's well, I really thought I could be close to people with my semblance. And what does she do? Waltz on up and be yeah, I know exactly what you mean. My semblance has also made me suffer. It's shut the fuck up, you bitch. No, your semblance is nothing like Crow's. Not a single thing about your semblance is like, his semblance is completely against his own will. He cannot control it. It happens all the time, regardless of whether he wants it to or not. And because it's happening all the time, and it's misfortune, that means he has to physically distance himself from the people he loves. He has to isolate himself just for the sake of everyone else's safety. And yeah, you can tell that has left some major psychological and emotional issues with him. That's why he was an alcoholic. Your semblance is fucking nothing compared to that. People don't trust me if I can sniff out the secrets. Fuck, shut the fuck up. Your semblance is entirely tactile, and it seems like it can only be through hand touching, since we've only seen it that way, and then your comment to Harriet later is, shake my hand, you dumb bitch. And it's just like, that is nothing. People, like, you learning if someone is lying or not is fucking nothing compared to whatever Crow has had to go through with his life. Don't fucking sit there and pretend you've had to struggle with it. You've never once, at all, throughout the last, like, volume that we've known you, seemed to, like, worry about your semblance in the slightest. If anything, you've reveled in it. It's like, oh yeah, you want to get past my girls? Well, shake my hand first. Oh yeah, you want to prove something to the council? Well, why don't you fucking shake my hand? You're so eager to highlight your fancy dancy truth or dare fucking semblance, and now you're suddenly like, yeah, it is tough. I know what you mean. I'm suffering just like you. Shut the fuck up. So fucking annoying. I'm hating this plot point. I want it to just not be in the show. It is ruining. Like, I'm being so salty right now. And I'm gonna be honest, I like this episode. This has been maybe the best episode so far for the season. But I hate Robyn so much. Every single scene she has been in, I fucking hate it. And she has a fucking audacity to end the scene with this.
That was almost exciting.
Yeah, it was almost exciting. We're interrupting both of the interesting plot points to watch your dumbass sit there and pretend like you're a fucking protagonist. Alright, and next I actually want to bounce to the villains, because this got serious. Like, this got intense. First of all, I love how tall the Hound is. Like, it's so lanky, and it's crazy seeing exactly how small Oscar is next to Salem. Like, we all knew he was a small little farm boy, but he really is tiny, and this scene really highlights how just small and young he is, which is really, really sad. I like how Aaron Dismuke has done a great job voicing Oscar to begin with, like, throughout his entire time in the show. But he does a really good job here, because he's done a very good job differentiating Oscar's voice from Ozpin's voice.
But does one lapse in judgment truly negate all of his good? Do we not all have regrets?
I'm just going to be another one of his lives, aren't I?
And in this scene, I can clearly tell it's Oscar trying to do an Ozpin voice.
I'm sorry the reunion isn't living up to your expectations.
And that is hard to do as a voice actor, and he does a really, really good job. So give him extra love, please.
Chase the rainbow, motherfucker!
Yeah, this scene, it's like, this is the first time our villains have actually, like, posed a real threat and done, like, real damage. And it's sad, because it's Oscar. He's our tiny little farm boy. He can barely hold up his weapon. He's facing, like, boss tier witch magic, and when Hazel walked in, I had never been more concerned for the well-being of one of our characters. Oscar's not going to be able to handle it, and I'm very, very worried. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, Oscar could walk away from this like a completely broken individual, and I really don't want to see that. And that's a good thing for a story standpoint. It's good that we're pushing our limits so much with this episode. Like, we're making the villains something actually worth, like, worrying about, because that has been a big problem. The villains have not felt like a threat at all. You know, they bumble their way into every situation. Team RWBY waltzes in, just, like, dances around them, and just wins. And the villains have lost over and over and over again, and now seeing this, I'm really starting to feel that, like, level of threat again. Like, I'm worried. And it's really, really good. Sad, but good.
I want to search for the Winter Maiden. I think she thinks. She wants. As if she's done something that warrants me caring about either of those things.
crazy enough, I am excited to see what is going to happen with Cinder. She is really pushing her luck, which I don't blame her. Like, Salem has accidentally spoiled Cinder. On every failure Cinder has had, Salem has accepted her back, and on some occasions even praised her. You know, she got the maiden powers and Beacon fell, but she also got super hurt. And Salem has been stern, but not, like, mean. She hasn't been aggressive about it. She's just dismissed and then brought her back in. And now it has, like, made this mentality that Cinder now thinks she's invulnerable. She can do whatever she wants with no consequences. And even if her little, like, side mission she wants to do ends up working, it's still, like, Salem could still be really pissed off at her. Like, because I think Salem was at her wit's end with Cinder pushing her limits here. I don't know what to expect. I'm excited, and just like how I was super concerned with Hazel showing up to bully Oscar, having Emerald just say this.
I've been working on my semblance.
Her semblance is so... Her semblance killed a lot of people. Her semblance killed Penny the first time. Her semblance led to the events of the Fall Maiden powers getting lost, Beacon fell, like, you know, all of these things because her semblance. She's able to manipulate people so much, and if she's been improving it, I don't know what to expect now. Like, could be a really bad team of espionage with these three characters just based off of their, like, prior skill set and their semblances, and I'm, like, worried. Like, I'm worried, but I'm also, like, whether they win or lose, I'm also super excited to see what's gonna happen, because I don't think Cinder's gonna get her praise anymore. I think this volume is destined for failure with Cinder. Whether her side quest, like, is a success or not, Salem is not gonna be happy. That's what I'm expecting. And now the part you and I have really been waiting for, back to Jaune's team, who I'm gonna call them Team Jolly. I'm gonna go with that one. Even though Oscar's not there, we can still call it Jolly. And it was just as much fun as I wanted it to be. Like, it was just thrilling. That was the only word I could think of to describe it. It's so smart, so much fun. They're having such good ideas with their, like, fighting choreography, like with this opening scene. Like, yes, that's a great idea. What a good concept. Oh no, this was a terrible idea. What are we doing? We're playing around with the setting a lot, like this canyon. Yeah, it is a problem. Ren is bouncing off of stuff this entire fight, and it's bad. And not only that, but just the added level of Jaune and Yang trying to catch up on their bikes. But then when the centipede ones, I don't remember what they're called. I'm sorry. Fake fan. I don't remember the name of every single Grimm anymore. I think it's Sentinels, if that helps. They show up, and then just this new level of Jaune and Yang trying to fight off the Sentinels and still catch up, and Ren is just trying to do his best, and it's a lot of fun. I honestly expected them to succeed. I thought Ren was gonna make it, and then Jaune and Yang were gonna be left on their own, but they failed. They failed at this mission, and it's just exciting. It was a very exciting fight scene, but really the real meat of Team Jolly's adventure in this episode is this scene where they finally, like, address the problems, and it's smart. Eddie Rivas wrote this episode, and he has done a very good job. When he remembers things that has happened, he keeps in mind, like, everything that has happened in the show within the previous volumes, and not only does he keep it in mind, he has the characters actively bring it up, which we see in spades with this scene, and it's really awesome. Because so often they'll just like, oh yeah, we fought a giant Nevermore, but we're never going to talk about it again. And it's nice, like, having it brought up, and also just how it leads into Ren and Yang's side of their argument, which I agree with both of them. They both have very valid points with their argument. I'm gonna mark it off my bingo board. It's Blake and Yang talk to other people. Blake hasn't really talked to, like, she had a conversation with Nora and Weiss, but it wasn't really much of anything. It was more of a Nora scene. This is enough to mark it off my bingo board, because Yang has had a great conversations with Team Jolly, and I'm enjoying this a lot. I love this conversation because it really just voices all of the arguments people have had on the internet about like current events, like they didn't deserve to be made huntsmen. They didn't even finish training, or versus but we've done all these cool things already. They definitely deserve to be made huntsmen. And I'm glad we're not just ignoring the criticisms and the arguments online, that writers are actively like paying attention to these things and are either acknowledging it or agreeing with it at the very least, and putting it into the show, because everything I have seen on Reddit and on YouTube comments and this, that, and the other thing, I'm seeing in this argument, and it's refreshing having them actually address it, because usually it's just, no, we have this side of the argument and we're always right, and it's nice having it be divided. I also like how the scene isn't trying to portray, like, Ren or Yang in, like, this hero light. It happens with RWBY a lot. If RWBY opens her mouth and says anything, it's like, RWBY is the pure soul. She is 100% correct in this situation. And it's not happening here. And I really like that, because both Yang and Ren are right, and both Yang and Ren are wrong. Like, yeah, they have done a lot. They do have, like, a good hefty amount of victories under their belt, but also they now have quite a few mistakes, and these mistakes are going to lead to a lot of people dying or at least getting very hurt. And, you know, we have to admit that too. Like, we didn't just luck out. We've really honestly been just very lucky leading up to these moments. Like, everything Yang lists off. Their victory at Haven. They beat the Leviathan. They got the lamp to Atlas. Yeah. They lucked out. They got very lucky. And suddenly their luck has run out. Ironically, the moment their bad luck charm isn't there anymore, their luck has run out. But yeah, it's just like, it's smart, because they have just banked on, we just keep winning, it's fine. And now it's not fine. They're not winning, and it's not fine.
Ren, you cheated your way into bacon.
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? Oh my god. We haven't talked about this in years. In almost an entire decade. 7 out of these 8 seasons, we have not addressed this plot point at all. To the fact that I didn't even think Ren knew about this, and I definitely didn't think the writers remembered this. So, okay. A little bit of a history fact for you. So, the Jaune cheating his way into Beacon thing never got brought back up, and the speculation was because it didn't work well with Japanese audiences. Because if you watch, you can see it both with the Shonen Jump adaptation of Volume 1, and also just if you watch the Japanese dub, they cut out those episodes. And I think it's something culturally, I don't want to just like talk out of my ass and make assumptions here, but they're not in the Japanese dub. And because of that, I got the feeling that in order to keep up with their sales with the Japanese dub, they just didn't address it anymore. But they stopped doing the Japanese dub after Volume 3. They haven't had a Japanese dub for RWBY since then. And now that we're actually going back and really bring this up, it's embracing everything the show has had so far. The fact that we're bothering to remember this, and the fact that it's something Ren is throwing at his friend as an insult. Like, that is a lot. Because Yang says it later. Jaune has done a lot to prove himself, leading up to this point that he deserves the huntsman status. Yeah, he still wobbles around on his bike. Yeah, he doesn't always look confident. But, yeah, he's killed countless Grimm. He's helped them save the world. He's done his share. He's done his part. He's suffered and lost. And, yeah, he deserves the huntsman license as much as anyone else does. I never in a million years. I am blown away that we actually brought this plot point back up. I'm amazed. Eddie, you, not only are you just like, he's bringing up things like the obvious ones, but just bringing up stuff like that. When he writes, the characters feel like real people, and it's awesome. And I'm glad later Jaune isn't letting it get him down. Like, because he's had his time of being sad and mopey. I'm glad he's in a better headspace. And I'm also glad he's taken a positive spin on it and is trying to help Ren. Because, yeah, Jaune could... Because Yang is very much being pissy about Ren being pissy.
I found a part to fix the bike. So, yay! Good news.
And Jaune is doing what he usually does very well as a leader, is he's trying to be positive for everyone. He's trying to still help, like, have an optimistic outlook. And yeah, he could be sitting there upset that Ren said this super offensive thing to him, but rather than do that, he's trying to still help his friend, trying to get him to, like, stop being so cold and distant, and as Yang says, is pushing everyone else away. It's to the point that I am now worried Ren might turn on the heroes. Like, I don't expect him to, like, join Salem's team or anything like that, but I think he might choose to align with Ironwood at some point. Because, like he was saying during their argument.
And by keeping her from opening the vault for Ironwood, we're just trapping the whole city for Salem.
And it's so, I've never been more concerned. I'm concerned about Oscar's well-being. I'm concerned about Ren. If he became like a villain, no one would have ever seen that coming. It's just crazy. This has been a very good, and then at the end with the setup of whatever the fuck this is gonna be happening under the ice, I don't know what to, I'm so excited. So this is a very long review. I can already tell it's going to be really fucking long because there's a lot going on in this episode. We saw, I think, all of our different teams, all of our different plot points, except for maybe the Happy Huntresses, but, like, that's not really that important. We saw, yeah, and there's a lot going on, and I'm excited to see how well they're going to juggle these many plot points because, yeah, we got a lot to do with a lot of different characters. And clearly the thing I'm the most interested in is Team Jolly's ordeal and whatever's going to happen with Oscar, but I'm excited to see what's going to happen. That's the thing, I keep saying it every review, I'm excited. I'm still excited. This has been great. This, I think, I mean it, this might be my favorite episode of the volume so far, sans everything that happens with Robyn. It really is the lowest point of the episode, is having to deal with Robyn, and it's such a bummer that we start with Robyn, and it's also weird how we've cut things together. Like, I would have opted to at least start with Team RWBY to finish up their mission from last time. But yeah, this has been great, amazing for our characters. And maybe that's why Robyn's dialogue disappoints me so much. It was because everyone else's dialogue is so good, and Robyn's feels so vapid, so basic. And I'm just loving it. Every single week, I'm like, I can't wait for next week. And it just keeps building. And yeah, I can't wait. Our villains are finally villains, like with a threat. And I'm excited to see what our heroes are gonna do. I don't know. I can't predict any of it, and that's the exciting part. There's a lot of potential here. A lot of very interesting potential with all of the characters. Not just our heroes, but with our villains as well, which is great. It's exactly what I said I wanted. I wanted to see enough of our villains to know what they're doing, but not enough to, like, ruin the surprise. And it's happening. And as a last little side thing, I just love the credits this time around. I know it's not a thing I've ever talked about, but usually I like seeing the concept art during the end credits because I think it's interesting, but they had some really gorgeous artwork this time around. Like desktop worthy. It makes me wonder if they're planning on doing an art book, which would be really cool. I hope you liked it. Like I said, I crossed just the one thing off of my bingo board so far. Whether I get a bingo this volume or not, I don't even care anymore, because I'm just enjoying it endlessly, which is the most important part. I can't understand how people could not like this volume so far. And it's such pedantic seeming things to me. Oh, the shot where the hound grabbed Oscar was so slow. Oh, why didn't Marrow just use his semblance? It's just so pedantic. You know why we didn't do these things? Because it's been fun. It's been entertaining. Put your fucking, like, benign shit aside, all your nitpicks, and you're like, why isn't this pixel perfect? Frame by frame perfection. It's a story. It's a fantasy story. It's just an adventure. It is something I am watching to entertain myself. If you're gonna get hung up on all these small nitpick shit, and that's gonna make it ruin the episode for you, honestly just fucking watch a different show, because I don't know what to tell you anymore, because this has been amazing. On that note, thank you so much for watching this video. I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions. Quick shout out to my $10 patrons: Nako, Michael, James Dodds, Cool Duck, Andrew, Raymeal, Valhalla Knight, Chamomile, and G Extreme. You're all amazing, thank you all so much. And I don't mean to be like mean or anything, but I do want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Just why. If you don't like this episode, please explain to me why, because I thought this was great. Are your thoughts and opinions on Robyn different from mine? I would love to hear why. I would just want you, I want you to just explain yourself. I really do, I mean it. All your thoughts and opinions, just, I want to hear them. But also just tell me, what did you like this episode? What was your favorite part? What do you think about this stuff with Ren and Yang? Do you agree or disagree with any of the thoughts and theories I had? What do you think about them bringing up John's cheating his way into Beacon thing? I think it's very exciting. And I would just, yeah, any and everything you have to say, please leave them in the comments below. I've had so much fun with this volume, and I hope you have too. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.